Hey televisions, back with me again, Haji Gautama Putrada. I am your lecturer for Parallel and Distributed Systems. This is our 8th meeting about Parallel System Introduction. And in our second video, we are going to discuss about what is Parallel Systems. Let's start. So to talk about parallel systems, I want to go back to operating systems a little bit. So what did we learn in operating systems? The basic function of operating systems is multiprocessing. Multiprocessing, which is processing many processing many processes at the same time. So, but how do we do that when we have only one processor? If we only have one processor, we run, and we have here we have three different processes. Actually, when we see them running at the same time, actually they are called they are doing something called interleaving. In Indonesia, we call it ganti-gantian. So process 1 runs, and then it stops, and it gives it to process 2, and then process 2 stops, so it hasn't finished, but it gives time to process 1, and then process 1 stops for a moment, and it gives it to process 3, and then process 3 gives it to process 2, and process 2 gives it to process 1. So none of them are really running at the same time. But what if there are many processors in one computer or in a computer network? Then it doesn't become interleaving, it becomes overlapping. So here we can see the gray area, the green area here is in the same time slot. So the conclusion is process 1 and process 2 are running at the same time. And by saying that, it is easily said that when process 1 and process 2 are running at the same time, this is called parallel processing. In the first half of our semester, we were talking about distributed systems, and I'll just give a clear canvas here. So when we talked about distributed systems in the first half of our semester, we are actually talking about computer network, where our system is distributed through the network. So here we are talking about computer network. But when we are talking about parallel systems, we are not talking about computer network. We are actually talking about the computer hardware or the processor. And because we are talking about the software that runs over the computer hardware, and the software is running in a parallel environment, so a little bit we are also talking about the operating systems, but not too many. Here we are only talking about how a computer can run several processes at the same time. So that is basically what we are talking about when we are talking about parallel systems. So if we have a question, what is the goal? What goal? Here what are we talking about? What is the goal of parallel systems? Of course, and we do two processes at the same time, and we do two processes one by one. The direct effect is to go faster. So the goal of parallel systems is to complete a task faster. Faster than what? Of course, the opposite of parallel is serial. So completing a task faster faster than it is completed when it is done serially. So that is the goal of parallel systems. So that is the end of the second video. In this second video, we have successfully discussed about the definition of parallel systems. In the next video, we are going to discuss more about the history of parallel systems. Thank you for your attention.